All right. We'll call the Board of Public Works meeting of March 4th to order. Number 2, approval of minutes of February 28th. Board of Public Works meeting. Motion? Motion by Mr. Rosendich. Second by Mr. Varsho. Comments, questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. I see no citizens, so we'll go, okay, Chris has got some comments, yes.
Yeah,
Go
I just
ahead.
wanted to remind everybody that weight restrictions are going on Wednesday. Wood County started today and tomorrow, and Marathon County also early in the week. So we'll start our signs on Wednesday and have them up by Thursday by noon. Reminder to all the contractors and the public out there.
Any questions for Chris? Okay, thank you, Chris. Number 4, award bid for contract 2022-01 East 17th Street reconstruction from Maple Avenue to Peach Avenue, and recommend allocation of ARPA funds to fully fund the project. Presented by Tom Turchi, City Engineer. Tom.
We opened bids for this project on Wednesday, March 9th. We received 2 bids for this work. The low bid was submitted by Earth Incorporated of Arpin, Wisconsin, in the amount of $1,733,433.15. The difference between the 2 bids was 3.3%, and the opened bid was about 18% higher than the pre-bid estimate. So I'll go quickly through the analysis of the dollars. The Earth bid was $1,733,443.15. We opened asphalt costs last night, or last Friday. They came in at approximately $235,992.19 for a subtotal of $1,969,435.34. Engineering remaining for this project is estimated at about $38,000, with a contingency of about $49,000. So the total that we project is of $2,056,435.34. So with the budgeted sources that are available for this project, we had a street budget of $1,191,000. Marshfield wastewater treatment plant will pay for specific items, and that came out to be $113,720. Marshfield Utilities water utility will pay for their specific items at $355,695. Therefore, APRA funding shortfall that's being proposed is $400,000, which gives us about $3,979.66 difference. I also want to highlight some of the non-typical items that were bid on this reconstruction project and their associated costs. The first being terraced tree plantings. We are proposing to plant 50 trees with this contract to enhance the entrance to the fairgrounds at a total cost of $28,405. The design is up on the screen right now. The Board of Public Works previously approved the overall plans for this project, including proposed improvements to the parking entrances on the Fair Association property. This included removing and installing a new fence, curb and gutter, asphalt pavement, and parking enhancements within the first 30 feet of the public right-of-way. I estimated this cost at approximately $180,000, and those are highlighted. Both of these proposed non-typical improvements will only help enhance the appearance and the entrance to the fairgrounds. These enhancements can be considered economic improvements to help attract additional people and events to the fairgrounds and its facilities. If either of these non-typical items are removed from this contract, it may be highly unlikely that they will be constructed within the next decade or at all. One example is the timeline for tree plantings along Peach Avenue corridor. 9th to 17th was constructed in 1994, and 17th to 29th was constructed in 2000, and the tree plantings were completed in the 2021 construction season. Likewise, if the Central Wisconsin State Fair Association were to have to fund the proposed improvements within this contract in a single year versus being able to pay for those improvements over a 20-year span through the special assessment process, their improvements may never occur. Therefore, I'm recommending that contract 2022-01 East 17th Street from Maple Avenue to Peach Avenue be awarded to the low bidder of Earth Incorporated of Arpin, Wisconsin, in the amount of $1,733,443.15, and to authorize the execution of a contract. I further recommend that the amount of $400,000 of ARPA funding be allocated to fully fund this project. Are there any questions?
I would entertain a motion if you so desire. Mr. Rosendich, second. Mr. Fire, questions? Mr. Rosendich.
So with that $400,000 coming to ARPA, what does that do to that list that we saw last week?
Go ahead, Dan.
If you remember, we had initially penciled in $250,000 for this project on that list, so this is a $150,000 difference. We also recommend that we use $200,000 to fund our asphalt paving program overages. We just crunched through those numbers today, and it looks like we're about $225,000 short there. So we could do a couple of things. Remember, we didn't allocate all of the ARPA funding, so there's a scenario where you allocate more ARPA funding to these street projects, being 17th Street and then our asphalt paving program. Another option is to cut back on the number of asphalt paving streets that we do to limit how much ARPA funding is put toward the street improvements. So if we had $450,000 as our target between 17th Street and the asphalt paving, we spend $50,000 or $400,000 on 17th Street, another $50,000 on the asphalt paving. We could leave our ARPA funding at $450,000 for street projects, but then we'd cut out a couple of projects. And if that's the direction, we would look at that and bring that recommendation back to you when we approve the asphalt bids in 2 weeks. 3 weeks from now. We have an extra week before our next meeting, but so there's a couple of things. Again, to simplify, there's more use of ARPA funds, dipping into that unallocated amount, or cut back on some other projects. Our recommendation is not to reduce the scope of the 17th Street project. We've got an excellent design here that will really improve this corridor with all the improvements that have been put together. So we think that should be our highest priority for this year. If we feel there has to be some cutting back somewhere, it would be on our asphalt paving list. And we've got a couple of projects on that list that we would delay if that's what the direction is.
Anybody else? Mr. Fisher.
I'm just gonna say, I think I'd rather see, we dip into the unallocated ARPA funds before we start cutting, other things that were designated within ARPA. But I don't obviously think that's a decision we can make. That would have to be the whole council, but based off what I heard you say, my knee-jerk reaction was I need to respond and tell you I don't like that idea, with all respect.
Anybody else? Mr. Fire.
This has been on the docket for so long, I think it's time we just do it and get it done, because it's going to be an asset to the city. There's a lot more people get in that grounds lately than other people in the city, so I think it's worth making it look the way it should be nice.
So go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I will just mention that as Tim was trying to lay out the schedule for construction here, he did get a list of events from Dale at the fairgrounds there, and I was surprised. There's 28 events, not including the fair, starting in March and going through October. A lot of these events are over multiple days, some larger and some smaller, of course, but there's a lot of activity at the fairgrounds most of the season. So we agree that this is a high priority and we encourage it to be fully funded.
So you'll be bringing something back as far as the rest of the ARPA fund if for the council to decide.
Yeah, I can touch on that. So this same use of ARPA funds will be on the Finance Committee agenda tomorrow night with the same recommendation. And then at the March 22nd council meeting will be the remaining list of ARPA funds. And based on the discussion here, I'll pencil in these new numbers for use of the ARPA funds, and then the council can make some decisions next meeting.
Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Recommended items for future agendas. Anybody have anything? Motion by Mr. Rosendich to adjourn, second by Mr. Varshall. Thank you. We are adjourned.